This is how Joseph Stalin was directly involved in the creation of Earling, Haaland. 1924 to 1928, Stalin seizes absolute power and launches the first 5-year plan. Stalin obliterates his rivals and enforces rapid industrialization to turn the USSR into a heavy industry machine. The only thing prioritized at this point would be the production of guns and tanks. 1939, Stalin signs the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with Hitler. This non-aggression deal allowed Hitler to attack westward without fear of a two-fronted war. This allowed Germany to focus everything on conquering Western Europe. April 1940, Operation Visa-U-Bong. This is where it begins. Germany invaded both Denmark and Norway. Denmark surrendered quickly and Norway resisted for about 2 months before being occupied. Hitler wanted to secure Norwegian ports and protect shipments of vital Swedish ore. Due to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact reducing the immediate Soviet threat, this allowed Germany to concentrate all of its forces westward. And even though Norway resisted, they were occupied for about 5 terrible years. Norway ended up becoming a strategic base for German naval and air operations. 1945. World War II ends and the Soviet Red Army occupies Eastern Europe. At Yalta and Potsdam, Allied leaders divide Germany and acknowledge that there is Soviet influence in the East. 1947 to 1949, this is where the Cold War ignites. Stalin rejected the Marshall Plan. For those of you who don't know, the Marshall Plan was a massive US economic aid program launched in 1948 to rebuild Western Europe after World War II. So, Stalin rejected this Marshall Plan. He continued to consolidate his communist regimes and made blockades in Berlin. These tensions crystallized into the Cold War. In response, Western nations formed NATO on 4 April 1949. And guess which country became a founding member? Norway, which was scarred by German occupation and probably feared Stalin's next move. Norway tried to be neutral during World War I and World War II, but because of the way Germany were moving, they ended up becoming a founding member of NATO, thus solidifying their alliance to the West. 1949 to 1960. The Marshall Plan aid and NATO security helped stabilize and modernize Norway's post-war economy, and the welfare state began to expand steadily under the long Labour Party rule. 1959 to 1971. North Sea oil is discovered. Following the Groningen gas discovery in the Netherlands, oil exploration intensified in the North Sea. In 1969, Phillips Petroleum struck oil at Ekofisk. Oil production began in 1971, transforming Stavanger into Norway's oil capital. Oil reserves reshaped the economy, eventually leading to the creation of a sovereign wealth fund in 1990. Now, this is the 1970s to the 1990s, and oil money funds everything. Norway becomes one of the richest nations per capita. The country has massive investment in education, healthcare, and youth sports programs. Stavanger's football academies turn into factories for talent. And a boy named Alf Inge Haaland is born there on the 23rd of November 1972 and grows up training on state-of-the-art pitches paid for by Black Gold. 1985 to 1991, Stalin's system collapsed. The Soviet system, originally shaped under Stalin, was proving to be unable to adapt to modern economic and technological pressures. Gorbachev's reforms unintentionally accelerate systematic collapse, leading to the fall of the Berlin Wall, dissolution of the USSR in 1991, and the end of the Cold War. The post-Cold War peace dividend and expanding globalization fueled a surge in international capitalism during the 1990s. 1992 onwards, the Premier League is born and becomes a global money magnet. Sky TV pours billions into English football, and the world's richest league sucks talent in from everywhere. July 1997, Alf Inge Haaland signs for Leeds United. Alf Inge Haaland moves to England, plays 74 Premier League games over 3 seasons, and lives in Leeds. 21 July 2000, Earling Braut Haaland is born in Leeds. Haaland broke through at Molde, exploded onto the European stage with RB Salzburg in 2019, then became one of the world's most feared goal scorers at Borussia Dortmund. In 2022, he joined Man City and immediately shattered records, scoring 52 goals in his debut season and helping Man City win a historic treble. But whatever you do, don't say the number 115 around Man City fans. So there it is. If Stalin hadn't seized power in the 1920s and signed the pact with Hitler in 1939, Germany never invades Norway in the 1940s. If Norway isn't occupied by the Nazis, it never joins NATO in 1949 or gets the Marshall Plan boost to its economy. If Norway stays poor and neutral, there's no North Sea oil boom, there's no rich Stavanger, and no top football academies. If those academies don't exist, Alf-Inge Haaland never becomes a pro. If the Soviet Union Stalin built doesn't collapse in 1991, the Cold War never ends, the Premier League money never explodes, and Alf never moves to Leeds. If Alf never plays for Leeds or Man City, Haaland is never born within England to have that association to align himself with Man City just as his father did. So that's the video there and there, my guys. I've never made a video like this before where I talk about, abstract football, butterfly effects, and, how it can be intertwined with history. One of my biggest inspirations for this style of video was, the Leno injury conspiracy theory, which is how when Bernd Leno got injured, it led to Emiliano Martinez becoming Arsenal's main #1 goalkeeper, which led to Emiliano Martinez playing a part within Lionel Messi winning the World Cup. So Leno's injury somewhat caused Messi to win that World Cup.
It was June 2020, peak COVID ball, and in the 36th minute of Arsenal-Brighton, Neil Maupay recklessly barged into Arsenal keeper Bernd Leno. No attempt at the ball, but somehow he still managed to avoid a yellow. As a pissed-off Leno was taken off on a stretcher, Arsenal subbed in Emi Martinez, who hadn't made a Premier League appearance all season. Brighton won that game 2-1, with Maupay scoring the winner in extra time, but Martinez would go on to start the next 11 games for Arsenal, winning 8 of them and conceding only 8 goals in that span. This stretch of performances made him a high-value transfer target around England, and 3 months later, Arsenal sold him to Villa for 17 mil. Now playing consistently, Martinez started getting looks from Argentina skipper Lionel Scaloni and earned a national team call-up for the 2021 Copa America, where he put on a show. He started 6 of the 7 games, saved 3 penalties in the semifinal against Colombia, and led Argentina to their 15th Copa America, cementing himself as Argentina's first-choice keeper over the veteran Franco Armani. Fast forward 2 years, it's 3-3 in the 123rd minute of the World Cup final. Kolo Muani is in on goal, and you know the rest. 38-year-old Franco Armani doesn't make that save, Sergio Romero doesn't make that save, and if he had continued his never-ending loan cycle at Arsenal, Emi Martinez probably doesn't make that save either. It'll go down as one of the most iconic pieces of goalkeeping in football history, one that helped Messi bring home the World Cup, and it wouldn't have happened without Neil Maupay being a little...
There's also another creator named WWII who makes abstract videos like this, and I too drew inspiration from him. I hope this video doesn't completely flop because my recent videos have all been unable to break 100 views. So if you enjoy this type of content, please leave a like on the video and hype the video to help me as a small content creator. Also comment your own ideas of football butterfly effects and I'll probably make a video about it. And with that being said, brethren, thank you for watching. Peace.